Welcome to the Colorado Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off so the panelists cannot see you or hear you. This is just one of the many different sessions that are happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within a week at the same website when that you registered. So now I would like to turn it over to our first presenter, the College of Holy Cross.
Hi everybody, my name is Nicole, Assistant Director of Admission at College of the Holy Cross. I'm gonna share my screen here and set a timer, and I apologize for in advance any squeaking you might hear. My dog just picked up one of her toys. To get started with the basics of who we are, we're a small undergraduate Jesuit liberal arts institution located in Worcester, Massachusetts. Worcester happens to be the second largest city in all of New England. It's very much a college town. Holy Cross is one of many schools in and around the Worcester area. In addition to having the second largest city, Holy Cross students also have a great balance of a residential campus where 90% of our students live on campus all 4 years. So there's a really strong sense of community. That's due in large part to the size of our institution as well, with just over 3,000 students. Our focus as well is entirely undergraduate. So for our students on campus, everything about the Holy Cross experience, the majors, the programs, the interactions with professors, the research opportunities are entirely geared toward the undergraduate experience, meaning that students are always going to have classes taught by professors. Our students have small class sizes of an average under 20 students. You won't find yourself in a large lecture hall. You won't find yourself competing with graduate students for research opportunities. So again, everything about the Holy Cross experience is geared toward the undergraduate experience. That's not to say we don't prepare students for graduate program. We have a number of advising resources for students, particularly pre-med and pre-law, which happen to be more popular. We have advising tracks for students hoping to go to those graduate programs. We also have extensive career development and career advising to help students find job shadowing opportunities and internship opportunities at Holy Cross, but then to also search for a job and career placement, as seniors at the college. As a liberal arts institution, we really encourage our students to explore, every and all subject areas that we offer. Students take 12 courses under 9 disciplines as part of their liberal arts curriculum. Those disciplines are things like social sciences, cross-cultural studies, religious studies, philosophy, art, literature, language studies. And so these really broad subject areas that allow students to take a number of different types of classes to satisfy any of those liberal arts requirements. And so that means that students are getting to explore a wide range of academic subject areas, getting that well-rounded education, getting those strong critical thinking, strong interdisciplinary thinking skills that come out of the liberal arts. But because there's so many different courses that satisfy those requirements, they're still active and engaged in their education along the way and choosing courses that are most interesting to them. All of our students enroll at the college undeclared as a liberal arts institution, meaning that you don't have to declare your major until the spring of your sophomore year. In that time, you work with an academic advisor to talk about your interests, start taking some courses in the liberal arts. And the liberal arts is also very helpful for students who might be a little bit more undecided and are looking to explore a lot of subject areas before declaring a major. As a Jesuit institution, we're asking our students to be people for and with others. What that means is that our students are reflecting on their education. They're thinking about what are they learning and why are they learning it, and how can they use their education and their resources and their skills that they have to be positive agents of change in their community. That also means that our students, or that kind of manifests itself for most of our students in service and engagement, especially in the Worcester community. But it also means that our students are constantly thinking about how can I use what I have to help others? And they're thinking about that when they go home for the summer, if they study abroad, wherever they go after Holy Cross. We're also reminding our students of the philosophy of cura personalis, which means care for the whole person. And so that's to remind students that while they are at the college to work very hard academically or in their classes, and they do, they're also there to live complete, full, well-rounded lives as Holy Cross students, that they're meant to sleep enough, eat enough, be active, see their friends, join clubs, have internships, study abroad, and again, both live that experience fully in the classroom and outside of it, and of course, be caring for the whole person. To switch gears and talk about admissions, because I only have a couple minutes left. First and foremost, we have 2 ways to apply to Holy Cross: early decision and regular decision. Early decision, as you may know, is binding. Regular decision is not binding. We have early decision 1 and 2 deadlines, and the only difference there is in the deadline itself. We don't review those applications any differently. We don't have a certain number of spots allocated for each deadline. Our early decision 1 deadline is November 15th. Our early decision 2 deadline and our regular decision deadline are both January 15th. We require the application itself. We're a Common App and a coalition school, so whichever you prefer. We don't have a supplement, so the only essay you write for us is the personal essay in the application. We require a high school transcript and 2 letters of recommendation, 1 from a school counselor, 1 from a teacher. And that said, that's all what we require, but we do consider additional things. For example, interviews are highly encouraged as a part of our admission process. Again, they're not required. They're offered for high school seniors. You don't have to wait until after you've submitted an application to interview. We also are test optional. We've been test optional for many years, so we are well practiced in reviewing applications without test scores being present. If you choose not to submit testing, it doesn't raise a red flag. We're not wondering why. We're not assuming it's because your scores were poor. We're just primarily looking at your transcript. On the flip side of that, if you submit a 36 ACT, it does not guarantee you admission to the college. So the bottom line with us being test optional is that if you feel your scores are a positive addition to your application, we want you to feel empowered in sending them. If you feel like your scores aren't a good reflection of who you are as a student, we don't want you to feel compelled to send them anyway. Additionally, we meet 100% of demonstrated need in financial aid. We require both the FAFSA and the CSS profile in applying for financial aid. The financial aid application deadlines are November 15th for early decision and January 15th for regular decision. And I think I'm coming up on my time here, so just quickly, here's my contact information. I am the Colorado rep, so if you have any questions about Holy Cross, I'm happy to be your point of contact. My email address is nhowell@holycross.edu. No such thing as a dumb question, no such thing as too many questions, so if something comes up, please let me know. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And next, we will have our next college present. Just a reminder, you can use the Q&A and ask the representatives any questions at any time. So our next college is Amherst College.
Hi everyone, let me just make sure I get my screen shared appropriately there. I think, there we go. My name is Alexandra Hurd. I do go by Lexi. I use she, her pronouns. I'm one of the Associate Deans of Admission at Amherst College, and I've been there for about 10 years. But this is actually my second stint at Amherst because I was also a student at Amherst College and graduated in 2006 as a sociology and anthropology major. My first slide that you see up there is a quick plug since we have such short time together tonight. I am hosting 2 programs that we have advertised to Colorado students. And the biggest benefit I see of attending that is that you get to join the sessions with myself and another student from Colorado. So you get to know a lot about any questions that you might have about transitioning to school in the Northeast, or any questions from a current student that would be really helpful to have there. So please do feel free to sign up for those particular programs. One is on a Tuesday, one is on a weekend, so hopefully some flexibility there, but in case I ran out of time, I did want to plug those. A little bit of a map just to show you where we are in Massachusetts, and we have 5 wonderful Massachusetts institutions here today. We are located in the western part of the state in a town called, surprise, Amherst, Massachusetts. So there's about 35,000 people that live in the town of Amherst itself, but about 70,000 in the surrounding towns as well. We're about 3 hours north of New York City and about an hour and a half to 2 hours west of Boston, which I think is a little bit of a helpful measure for people to kind of gain an understanding of where we might be in the state. In terms of academics at Amherst, there's a bunch of statistics that I have on the slide here, but similar to the institution that you were just listening to, we are also a smaller institution, completely undergraduate focused, about 1,850 students. And so we really do focus on the close student-faculty interaction. Those relationships are really important to us. They're essential to us. And that's true across the disciplines. So across the humanities, the social sciences, the natural sciences and mathematics, foreign languages, and the arts. And we are really a liberal arts institution, like through and through, full ball. So we do believe in really preparing students not for a specific vocation or for a specific career track, but really we hope that our students are graduating with a very broad set of skills that you can really kind of hone in on to have broad, deep, and complex thinking. So critical thinking skills, communication skills, and the ability to write. And our hope is that our students are able to leverage those different skills, ask questions, be open to change and new ideas and things like that. And that happens best in these small settings because everyone can be a very active participant in that. We're also a very diverse institution. We really do feel that, and we're intentionally so and purposefully so, and really working on the inclusivity and the equity within our student bodies and our programs and our systems as well. But you know, when you are engaging in these conversations about the biggest issues that are happening out there in the world, you're only quite being as valuable in your education as the range of voices and the identities and the intersections of all those identities and perspectives that you have on campus. And that's true from you know, racial and ethnic diversity, socioeconomic diversity. I also work very closely with our transfer student population. So we have a very large number of returning students in our transfer population and community college transfer students there and military veterans. So, you know, what perspectives are we missing from the table is one of the big questions that we ask, because as we want to develop the world's biggest and most influential leaders, you really need to know sort of the range of different questions and life experiences that people are going to have to be able to weigh how to sort of really approach some of these things from the best perspectives. Lots of opportunities to also engage in research, and that's true not in the just in the sciences, but in the other areas of study on campus as well. So don't discount liberal arts institutions for research opportunities as well. So a quick plug there for all liberal arts institutions. Wonderful picture for our student body. A little bit of statistics about the students that I was just talking about. We also have something at Amherst called an open curriculum. So if we're thinking about distinguishing factors about Amherst from some other institutions out there, the open curriculum is something that we point to. So we do not have general education requirements, nor do we have distribution requirements for our students. So lots of flexibility, lots of freedom in what it is that you choose to study and why, a lot of room to explore. We do require that our students are full-time students, so they do take 4 classes in a semester over 4 years in order to graduate. And you do have a major, and your major will have some requirements through which you will need to fulfill in your time there as a student too, but very open for students to double major as a result, to study abroad, and to just kind of have these classes on your roster that you're like, man, I don't know if I would take that, or I haven't really heard about that. And so we really do encourage our students to be self-aware and self-reflective about what it is that you want to get out of your educational experience and why. One quick other distinguishing factor is that we are part of the 5-college consortium in Massachusetts. So my colleague at Smith loves to say that you get 5 colleges for the price of 1. So once you're a student at any of these institutions, free of charge, you can take courses at any of the other institutions and also participate in any of the clubs and organizations there as well. So about 30,000 undergraduates right in our area. So you get the benefits of being at a small institution, but many of the resources of being at a large institution as well. And I'm coming up on my time here. Our website has a wonderful wealth of opportunities and resources for deadlines and all of those important things. Also do feel free to reach out to me directly as well at ashurd@amherst.edu. Thanks.
Thank you so much. And while our next presenter is getting their slides ready, I just want to introduce MCPHS University. And again, at any time, you can feel free to send any questions on the Q&A, and the representatives are here to answer any questions you have.
Hi, everyone. How are you? My name is Allie Lombardi. I'm Senior Assistant Director of Admission over at Mass College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences in Boston. We're located right in downtown Boston in the hub of healthcare. Many of our tour guides describe us living right in the Hollywood of healthcare for our students on the West Coast. That's what they call us. We're located right in the hub of everything that you want to do within the healthcare industry. So we are right on the same street as Boston Children's, Brigham and Women's, Beth Israel, Dana-Farber, Joslin Diabetes, all Harvard affiliated teaching hospitals for our students to do lab research as well as volunteer opportunities right from day one at our university. We were founded as a pharmacy school back in the 1800s. We were known for that for a very long time. However, we've been doing healthcare for over 100 years in many different disciplines, including a full-fledged PA program, PT program, optometry program, occupational therapy program, all the way to a sonography program, radiation therapy program. So anything you can really think about in healthcare, I'm sure that we may have a fit for you. We do focus on many different disciplines within healthcare, as I mentioned, but the main one that we really do is in IPE education, which is a different factor for a lot of schools. When talking about research, we actually put you in different disciplines with different community members to learn how each occupation works with each other within the hospitals, as well as the community hospitals and pharmacies. So for example, if you were a dental hygiene major and you were also working with a PA and you were also working with a health psychologist, how would that all work together within a medical facility? So we've been really focusing on that this past year, as well as some pretty good career successes I always like to talk about. We were named number 3 for return on investment this past year from Georgetown University. Pretty big statistic for our students, that our students will invest some money to go to college, but the return on your college education is huge. A lot of our students really like to see that return of investment, and so we really like to kind of focus on that as well. We are a small institution, so our students really love having that individualized attention, with about 13:1 in the classroom and about 12:1 in the labs. We have a full biology lab, chemistry lab, all your basic lab sciences, but we also do have a full dental hygiene clinic on our campus. We have a full-fledged pharmacy on our campus, as well as we have a working sonography lab on our campus that we do see the public every day. So our students do get some really unbelievable research opportunities, as well as clinical experiences right on their campus. So I talked a lot about just the overall university, but I always like to point out our different schools, because it's very different when you start talking about the application process. So you will apply into the specific school that you are interested in. We're pretty major specific, meaning that we do have an undecided major, but we really like to call that our health sciences major, so you can explore a little bit more within the healthcare field. But if you really know what you want to do, we really suggest that you apply into that specific school that you're interested in. Few things to point out: the School of Arts and Sciences majors are all 4-year bachelor's degree programs. The School of Dental Hygiene can be up to 3 years, not as an associate's program, but actually a bachelor's degree program. The reason why we can do it in 3 years instead of 4 are there are 2 summer semesters for clinical experiences. As well as we have a pre-dental program, so it's actually a 4-year program with that optional 5th year to get your prerequisites to go off to dental school. Our students are remarkable in that. All of our students that were in that pathway this past year went off to dental school, so if that's something that you're interested in. As also mentioned, we have our newest major in healthcare management, leading off to an MBA in that 5-year program. And then our School of Nursing additionally is a 3-year program, very similar to dental hygiene. Our School of Medical Imaging and Therapeutics, additionally 3 years bachelor's degree program. And then we have also our flagship program of pharmacy. We're the 2nd oldest pharmacy in the United States. Our students are direct entry right in from high school, which is pretty exciting for our students, as well as we have many other disciplines within our School of Pharmacy, including our newest program, along with healthcare management. We launched our pharmaceutical business program. That also does offer a 5-year option. So some pretty unique things that we are finding that are really needed within the healthcare industries as well. We also have occupational therapy and physical therapy all through our university. So you'll start right out of high school and you'll complete your 6-year degree for physical therapy or your 5-year degree for occupational therapy. It's really nice that you can start and finish with us if that's something that you really have in your head right now, that that's what you would like to do as part of your college education. So our students really do enjoy that as well. We are definitely a city campus, and so I always like to kind of put that out there up front. We are located right near Fenway Park. If you are a baseball fan, we're part of the colleges of the Fenway. So there are 6 schools that surround Fenway Park, and we are one of those schools. It gives a really great opportunity for our students to really do kind of like what my other colleague talked about in Western Mass, but right in the city. So you have facilities for all of their gyms. You can do cross-registration with any of them as well. Our students also get discounted tickets to Fenway Park, to the Patriots, to the Celtics. So they really do embrace that Boston feel. You don't need a car when you come to campus. We encourage you not to bring a car. We don't have a parking lot on our campus. So you really gotta love that city feel. But with those opportunities, you really get some unbelievable experiences right within that Longwood medical area. Our students also do have the opportunity to use public transit because we have the no car option. So we do give them a discounted T-Pass, which is our public transportation where you can go anywhere in the city, and they absolutely love it. Many students, if you're not from an urban area, may not understand, but our students can go anywhere on foot, and the safety is our big priority. So it's a really great opportunity for our students. I'm going to pass off my contact information, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you on campus soon.
Thank you. Next college is Merrimack College. Again, at any time, feel free to ask the representatives any questions. You can ask any representative any questions, so it doesn't have to be the one that's currently presenting. So, Merrimack College.
Hi everyone, my name is Christine Carroll. I'm Associate Director of Admission here at Merrimack, and I specifically work with all of our Colorado students. So I hope to work with many of you in the future. A little bit about Merrimack. We are located just north of Boston, about 25-30 minutes north of the city. So to give you a better idea, here's Boston, here's us, and then here's Southern New Hampshire. So we have all of the great amenities of the city in terms of internship opportunities, you know, going out and exploring the arts and music and sporting events, and then all of the great nature that is in our area as well as the New Hampshire area. So if you want to go up north, go skiing, you know, snowboarding, whitewater rafting, hiking, there's a lot that you can do that way too. So you can see this is an aerial of our campus, but we're still very much a residential school. So 70% of our students do live on campus. We guarantee housing all 4 years. So if you're really looking for that active, you know, campus community and really getting involved heavily during your time in college, that is definitely who we are. So some quick facts to get a better sense of who we are. We were founded actually in 1947. So in the scheme of colleges in New England, we're on the baby side, but we were actually founded for returning World War II veterans under the GI Bill. We are a yellow ribbon school for those of you who might qualify for that. And we're more of a mid-sized school. We're about 4,000 undergrad and about 1,200 graduate students. Average class size is 22. So if you really want a really personalized experience in the classroom, you really want to get to know your faculty, be able to make those connections with your fellow students, that is very much our classroom environment. All of our classrooms are faculty taught. So again, you do also get that mentorship from your professors. And we're a Division I athletic school. So you get, again, the small class size and that high touch in the classroom, but with all the excitement of, you know, the D1 athletics and all the various clubs, you know, typical years, you know, homecomings, you know, things like that. So there's a lot that our students can do. And I say a student who's a great fit for Merrimack is, again, really looking to connect in the classroom, you know, have much more of a one-on-one experience, but doesn't want to sacrifice that excitement of outside of the classroom. In terms of what we offer for academics, we have 5 different schools on our campus. Our business school is our largest school on campus. It now houses our new majors in entrepreneurship and hospitality. Education and social policy is another one. The School of Science and Engineering has our new major in neuroscience. And then we have our health sciences school, which also features our direct entry nursing program. And then liberal arts is probably our most diverse in terms of different offerings. And then it's also home to our Discover program. So as many of my colleagues have mentioned, you don't always have to come in having a specific major in mind. And in fact, we encourage you to come in undeclared if you feel that's your path. Within the Discover program, any undeclared student gets a Discover advisor. So it allows you to explore the campus a little bit, take some different classes, get a feel for what's out there, what you like, what you don't like, but while still staying on track for graduation. So say you have to take a psychology class, you'll work with your advisor and they'll be like, hey, what about that did you like? Do you want to do this or that? And you might say, well, I didn't like psychology, but we've talked about criminal psychology. And so maybe I want to do a criminology class. And then that's how we work you towards your major. Another thing that I think really is special for Merrimack is the amount of advising and different people that we put in place to really guide you through these 4 years. So at Merrimack, every student gets 3 advisors starting their freshman year. You get your academic advisor, who again is helping you navigate choosing classes, questions about your major. You get a career advisor, so helping you plan internships. How do you network? What is, interviewing like? And really kind of figuring out that path. And then you get an academic success coach. And this is someone who almost kind of think like your school counselors. They're almost like a go-to person. Maybe you're struggling in a class and you want to reach out and what should I do? Or you're not sure where to find tutoring services. Or maybe you're having an issue with your roommate and you want to talk it out with someone. That academic success coach is really going to be looking out for you and keeping an eye where you are and being, again, a go-to resource for you. And our students really take advantage of all of these resources. This past year, we had over 8,000 kind of one-on-one academic coaching sessions. So our students really embrace this model of, we're very much a community and we're looking out for you and we want you to, be successful. And that's very much our approach. In terms of our application process, it's actually a pretty straightforward process. We don't want to make this any more stressful than it already is. We are on the Common Application. So for those of you who are familiar with the Common App, it is free to apply. So we do not have an application fee. So there's no harm in being able to add Merrimack to your list because it doesn't cost anything to apply to us. Our average GPA is about a 3.3, so about a B. But we see students on all ranges of academic. Fit is really important to us. Who is the person behind the application? Not only how are you doing academically, but what are you involved in? What are your passions? Are you committed to your community? And so those are the types of things we're looking at. We do not require test scores. We've been test optional for probably about 10 years now. So we do not require those. And typically we require them for nursing, but actually for this year, for the fall of 2021, we are suspending that. We understand getting testing right now is really difficult, and so we don't want to add to that stress. So testing is completely optional for all of our students this year. And as you can see, we have a couple of different deadlines. It's really just a choice of which deadline you think is a better choice for you. And then here's some ways to get into contact with us. We offer a lot of visit opportunities, virtual, obviously, visits. In terms of, going online, we have a virtual tour. And if you do happen to be in the Massachusetts, Boston area, we are offering small group on-campus tours as well. So, hopefully I'll be able to connect with many of you and good luck in your process.
Next, we have the University of Massachusetts, Lowell. And while she's sharing, again, just make sure, a reminder, please ask any questions in the Q&A that the representatives can answer.
Thank you. So hi, everyone. I'm Joanne Germano with the University of Massachusetts at Lowell. I'm based in California, but I cover Colorado and a lot of the Western region for us. So feel free to reach out to me if you ever have questions. Our campus is on the border of New Hampshire. Lowell is about 30 miles north of Boston. You can get a direct flight from Denver into Boston, jump on the train and get to campus in about 35 to 40 minutes, so you won't need a car. It's very easy to get around. We're mid-sized public research, about 11,000 undergrads, but our average class size is 25 because we have over 500 full-time professors. We're pretty geographically diverse. Students come from all 50 states and over 100 different countries. We've added 14 new buildings in the last 6 years. We have an 8,500 square foot makerspace on campus, an innovation hub, some new labs, new residence halls, a state-of-the-art world trading room for our students to learn in. All of our programs are direct entry. So whatever you declare on your application, you start right in the program. There's no waiting around for the classes that you need. All of our options are very hands-on with our student to faculty ratio of 17 to 1. We're the first school in the country to have plastics engineering. Those students do a lot of work with prosthetics. Currently, some of our plastics alum are working on COVID vaccines. We are also one of the first schools in the country to have sound recording technology. Most popular at UMass Lowell are going to be anything in the STEM, business, and then criminal justice. We do a lot of 4+1 tracks, so if you're interested in having a bachelor's and a master's, you can do that in as little as 5 years and save time and money. We also have a direct entry nursing program, and as little as 3.5 years, you could have your bachelor's in nursing. We're one of the few schools in New England that offers a You Teach track. If you're studying in the STEM, you can take 6 extra classes in education and earn a teaching credential at the middle school and high school level just to broaden your career options. We're a heavy co-op school. So if you're interested in business, science, or engineering, we will make sure you get work experience in a paid internship. Students make about $25 to $30 an hour in the co-op. We have 200 company partnerships nationally. So you could get your degree from us in Massachusetts, come back to Colorado with a job. Wherever we have a company partnership, you can work. Because of our co-ops, 95% of our students are employed within 6 months of graduation. Additionally, we have more hands-on learning. Our students are very competitive. Some of our engineering students have competed nationally and in New England, building canoes, bridges, race cars. If you're interested in business, we have a Difference Maker Institute on campus where you could work on your own startup business. Some of our recent news, the UMass system as a whole is ranked #1 public university system in New England, and we're top 100 in the world. One of the benefits of our area is if you're involved in healthcare, we have a makerspace on campus, a medical device center on campus, but we do a lot of clinical sites at the Boston area hospitals, which are nationally ranked. We also have a 100% job placement rate with all of our healthcare programs and a 99% job placement rate specifically in engineering. If you're interested in study abroad, we partner with over 300 institutions in over 40 countries. We have scholarships to help cover the travel costs to study abroad. These were the popular countries that students have recently been to, but we go all over. There's a large sense of community at our campus. About 90% of our first year students live on campus. We're Division I in athletics. We are part of the America East Conference. Our ice hockey team is really good. They're very strong. Students tend to support that team the most. But we also have what's very unique to our university are our living learning communities. So if you're an engineering student or a criminal justice student, you can choose to live with students of your same major. We've also have clubs and organizations to get involved with, about 10 concerts a semester. We've had Drake and Billy Joel come to campus, Snoop Dogg, Oprah was on campus 2 falls ago to help fundraise scholarships for our students. So there's a lot of excitement. In terms of requirements, we're looking for a strong B average. If you're a senior, the fee waiver code is right there for you. You can apply that on the common application and apply for free. If you're interested in engineering or nursing, you want to be about a 3.8 to a 4.0 and a little bit higher than the average test scores. We are test optional though, and we have been for about 5 years. We'll do a holistic review. So we'll look at your letter of recommendation, your essay, your extracurricular activities. You have until February 5th to apply, but if you're a nursing student, you have to apply by November 5th. Also, we have great scholarships for out-of-state students. We start awarding at a B average. Our scholarships range from $10,000 to $20,000, and they renew until you earn your bachelor's. Our scholarships will be right in your acceptance packet, so there's no additional application you need to fill out for our merit awards. You can scan this QR code if you want to check out one of our virtual open houses that's coming up. We have a variety of options for you to explore. They're all on our website. We also have a great virtual tour on our website that you can visit. We do a fly-in program for students. We're hoping to be back on campus in the spring. If you're admitted and you're a senior, you'll be invited to attend our annual fly-in program where you'll get the full tour. You'll connect more with our current students, and you'll learn more about your major. That's also my email. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions, and thank you. And now we're going to open it up for questions.
Great. Again, any questions you may have, please send them in the Q&A and the representatives will be able to answer them for you. Really quick, as students are kind of thinking about questions, a question for all of you would be, what is your favorite part about the institution, whether it be an event, a location, something that's interesting, that's your favorite? And we can go based on the order that you presented.
So one of my favorite things about Holy Cross is that we're a small school with big school spirit. We have just over 3,000 students on campus, so students have all of the benefits academically of a small institution, like the small student-to-faculty ratio, which is 10:1, average class size under 20 students, ability to seek research opportunities across campus. But when they leave campus, they have this very spirited, very impassioned alumni base that, gives this the feeling of a much larger university. And so, alumni are there for students for something as simple as just making them feel like they're a part of the Holy Cross community when they fly back home to Colorado, to things as, kind of as game-changing for our students professionally as offering students internships, allowing them to job shadow, and in some cases offering students jobs as well. And so that combination of being a small school on campus, but with the alumni base and that kind of level of school spirit of a big school, I think is really special for Holy Cross students.
Great, Amherst.
So there's a lot of things that I've loved about Amherst and about the experience there as well. We have some awesome views on campus, so I got a nice little virtual background going on behind me. All 4 seasons, I love that as well. But, I do think, and I spoke a little bit about this, I think there's a purposefulness and a meaning that Amherst demands of its students and its staff and its faculty to really think about, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? Who do we want to be? How do we get there? And that kind of spirit stays with you beyond graduating. And I'm sure that every institution has a little bit of a vibe of that too. I'm a bias because I attended Amherst myself. So, I know that from the student perspective and then living it too. But I think that's one of the huge benefits of being at an institution that is quite residential as well. If that's what you happen to be looking for, is that kind of spirit does stay with you, and stays with you. Really kind of one of those moments where it's kind of like, if I didn't attend this particular institution, I am not sure of the person that I might be today. So that's one of my favorite things. Favorite fun things. We have some wonderful festivals, seasonal festivals that we have that are my absolute favorite.
I think the thing that really makes us stand apart, that I just love being a part of, is the diversity on our campus. This past year, our freshman class had students from all 50 states, which I thought was an interesting fact to kind of bring up, that you're not going to be the only student from Colorado. You're not going to be the only student from California. Our students are very well-rounded. We brought students in from 42 different countries in the past 3 years. I mean, it is an unbelievable place to be. And I think our rotations really speak for that as well, that they could go home to their home country. We have a health clinic over in Morocco. We have a pharmacy over in Japan. Even if you're not from those countries, we bring our students over there so they get a diverse partnership when they graduate. So we've had students that have gone all over for service as well as academic resources, but they also have something to talk about when they're at that first job interview. So we have a lot of cultural festivals. I've learned a lot about different religions. I've learned about different holidays I didn't even know existed. So there's some really great things that our students are involved in, and they really support each other through all their differences and all the diversity that they bring to our campus.
Wonderful to hear. Merrimack?
Yeah, what I love about Merrimack so much, and I think a lot of us on campus attest to this, is that kind of community sense. And we all kind of joke at Merrimack, like, oh, if we had $1 for every time someone said the word community, but it really truly is a huge part of our identity. I think students really gravitate to the school because they want to feel that sense of belonging and that kind of like family within a family. It's been, it's always so great to see the students, so excited to be together. We kind of joke, we always have to try to push our students to go to study abroad because they don't like to leave campus. They want to stay, which is great, but we want them to explore the world as well. But I think, again, that's just a testament to how much the students want to be there. And, especially this semester, I know for all of us, this has been a really challenging past several months. And to see the whole campus really kind of come together, our students, our faculty, staff, everyone really kind of come together to do their best to make these past couple of months and this current semester, as successful as possible has, it kind of renews your faith, with everything going on. And so that's something that I just love about this campus. And that's why when we always talk about our application process, we talk about fit, there's some things that you just can't measure with the GPA. And I think it's that community spirit that is so important to us. And that's really what we look for.
And I think at UMass Lowell, we're really like a best of the both worlds campus, I think, because Lowell is a fun city, a lot of mom and pop shops, family-owned restaurants, but with most of our students living on campus, they have close enough access via the train to the next bigger city, Boston. But even though we're 17,000 students total, which can be frightening to some students, our classes are small. Our advisors have office hours at least 3 days a week. Our students build a sense of community, whether it's supporting our clubs or supporting our sports teams or joining an intramural club or event on campus, but also our concerts and our events really help bring students together, and then our living and learning communities. So students aren't going to get lost in a residence hall of 1,000 students. They can choose to live in with students that are on a similar schedule, a similar major, and it really brings our students together more so inside and outside of the classroom. And then our hands-on learning approach, where students are involved in either the internships. I really enjoy watching students compete in these different competitions and getting involved in the different co-ops or clinical settings. So
that is wonderful to hear. I'll just give just another minute or so to see if any other questions come up. Let's see. And I just want to thank the panelists for your time and providing some useful information to the students that were in attendance. And thank you for joining us for the session. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. And also, this was just one of many sessions that is being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. And in about a week, you'll be able to find the sessions recordings as well as any other sessions that you've attended at the same website where you registered. Again, thank you to the panelists for your time, and a great rest of the day.